Hello and welcome back to Work Wednesday. I'm Sheen, your host, and today we're joined by Jade.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really good. It is an honour to be featured on Work Wednesday. I see it come up on my timeline every week.
I can't believe you're here, to be honest. I am gassed that you're here. And can we just address how we became friends? I just slid into your DM very shamelessly.
No, I love it. It's such a cute move. Because you know what? I think in the internet world, everyone actually wants to be friends with everyone.
Right.
Everyone's sort of aware of who everyone is.
Yeah.
But you still want to make the first move, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for replying. And look, here we are now. So, what are we going to talk about, Jade?
Okay, so we're going to get deep today.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little DMC.
We love that.
Yeah.
And specifically, you're going to talk about mental health,
Yes.
but as a creator
Ooh,
online.
yes.
Ooh, and dealing with all you wonderful people and all of you not so wonderful people who want to be a bit negative every now and then.
Just a little bit.
Yes, and how it affects us and how we deal with it.
How we deal with it, yes.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I really like that reel that you did about comparing mental health to the weather and how, sometimes it's not always sunny. But what was it, did you say that, but you're still sunshine at the end of the day,
Yeah,
It's
like
just
you're
behind
not
clouds.
defined. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not defined by the weather. Like the
Yeah.
day isn't defined by the weather, just like you're not defined by your mental health that day.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think just like you can pack an umbrella when it rains, why can't you just look after yourself if you're feeling a bit under the weather that day?
Oh, that's such a beautiful thought. How did you come to that?
So it was actually when I was writing this book.
What a segue.
just sitting here.
Tell us about the book.
So I actually just published this book, which is very surreal to be saying,
Yeah.
and to be holding it. And there's a whole chapter on mental health. And I think because mental health is such an intangible thing, I wanted to find some kind of metaphor that would resonate with people, especially people who have never thought about their mind
Yeah.
and really don't understand. When you say, "Oh, how are you feeling right now?" Some people will have absolutely no idea what to say.
Yep.
So that was when I was thinking to myself, "Oh, what can I compare it to?" And I was just looking outside, and then it just.
Ooh, I love it. It's so poetic. I was just looking outside, thought about the weather. But it's interesting that you mentioned this, like when you ask people how do they feel, and they often don't really know what to say. Do you think it's also because of a lack of understanding of the vocabulary of how you're feeling?
For sure.
Right.
Because what we're trying to do is effectively label something that is, again, intangible. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of like bodily functions and like try and work that into a label. But often language doesn't describe these things.
No.
Like we are limited.
It's quite
by
restrictive.
these words.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think with practice, you're able to find the words to like capture a little bit of it. But like still, I don't think anyone can really portray mental health to someone else or how it feels, especially if you have things like anxiety or depression. Trying to get someone to understand that is near impossible if they've never felt it before.
Absolutely. So when you say the whole weather thing, that if you're having a bad day, it doesn't define you. How do you put that into practice?
Ooh, okay. So I am big into mindfulness.
Okay.
And like meditation, yoga, that kind of thing, which to some people who've never tried sounds very hippie. It sounds like, you just sit there, you
Sounds
breathe.
like words, yeah.
Yeah, like why would you need to breathe intentionally? Like I'm breathing anyway, I'm doing it now. But yeah, it once you get into it, you start to realize the long-term benefits from practicing these things consistently.
Right. We got there.
We got there. So like, for example, I have a morning routine where no matter how I'm feeling, I will always do a meditation.
Oh, wow.
And for me, that is a time where I'm checking in with how I feel that day. If I'm feeling really anxious, I notice that.
Right.
And I can shape my day accordingly if I need more time for self-care or something like that. And I think that's just a nice mindful habit to take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've started one of the things as well during lockdown, which was the gratefulness thing.
Ooh, tell us about that.
So before going to bed, just think of 3 things today that you're grateful for, and it can be as big or as small as you want. And when I started, I kept thinking, I can't think of anything, but then you quickly realize that, I'm healthy.
Yeah, I can like sit here and have these thoughts and get out of bed in the morning.
Literally I'm full, I've eaten today.
So
and just like these little things, that it makes you feel a bit more in control as well of your emotions, and you feel like, just fine. And you have another video about this, isn't it? How to be the main character, and you're
Casual
like,
magic.
Look how much I remember.
She's a fangirl,
I am a
and
fan.
I'm so here for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Casual magic is basically what you were saying with the gratitude.
Yeah.
But instead noticing something very mundane in your day, something very casual that you find some sort of magic in, and you find gratitude in it. So the example I always use is like, if the sun is shining into your room, that is just can be a really beautiful moment.
In the UK.
In the UK? Come on, that doesn't happen often. When that happens, you just notice it. And you're like, it literally lifts your mood sometimes. Or if sometimes my dad makes me breakfast. Little things,
just cute,
but just taking the moment to almost label it and be like, wow, like that's my casual magic today. It gives life new meaning when you're looking for it.
Yeah, like you said, if someone smiles at you on the street and stuff. Because it actually stays with me if someone smiles at me. Like,
the world is good.
It's great. I believe in humanity again. Yes. But yeah, no, that's nice. Okay, so now as creators, right? Great. Let's go back. So what's been your experience online?
Oh, God, that's a broad question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have had YouTube for the last 4 years.
Oh, damn.
And I think also changed what I make online a lot over the last 4 years as my life has naturally changed.
Yes.
So I used to only make StudyTube content around A-levels and GCSEs. Now I also make more vlog content, university content, travel content, all these different things. And generally overwhelmingly positive. You know, people have been so kind to me. But also, I think as you start to gain a following, for whatever reason, people can be really horrible. And it can be everything from critiquing your lifestyle, your personality, your looks,
the way you look,
appearance, the way you act around people, your choices, everything. You've almost signed yourself up to allow people to have an opinion of you, and that's terrifying.
Right, and that's the thing, everyone tells you, oh, well, you shouldn't attach a lot of importance to the good things or the bad things, right? So that you can cruise through, but it's not that easy.
It's not.
No. It's really not.
It's so hard as well, because you might have 1,000 incredibly positive comments.
Yeah, that one nasty comment.
That just like hits on one of your insecurities. And it's like, you don't remember the other ones.
Yeah, and then it just sticks with you and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but like also that gives them power, which I hate. Because I want to be appreciating the incredible people, not giving power to that one person who's horrible.
Yeah. But it's hard, right? It's easier said than done. But then practically, you can't really do much about it because what are you going to do? You can keep telling yourself that, okay, we won't look at it, we won't look at it, we won't look at it. But I don't know about you, like if you look at your Instagram DMs, again, the same thing, right? It's like overwhelmingly positive.
For sure.
And then there are a few things that are just like, why?
Yeah, like, why are you inserting your opinion here? I did not.
Who asked? Yeah, like, also, I feel like as, like, women on the internet, you get a lot more personal attack as well. Like, I was just saying, on Woke Wednesday, usually we're eating with Ali, and all the comments are like, Sheen, you should not eat with your mouth full. You should not talk with your mouth full. But no one says anything about Ali, and he's the one who's
you need to
always
be dainty.
Yeah, I need to be a lady. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's just, do you see that a lot as well?
For sure.
The double standard.
For sure. This is something I talked about a lot with YouTube friends in January because I had a lot of criticism for studying abroad in Korea during a pandemic. Why?
Who has an issue with that?
People being like, oh, it's so selfish of you to
educate yourself.
To go, I guess to go to do a degree where I knew I'd be studying abroad and in a place where, you know, the pandemic wasn't doing as badly, in a place where I was going to quarantine for 2 weeks, follow the regulations, do all of that. Like,
but you planned this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, I can see why people would say these things. If you're in lockdown in winter in the UK and you've personally made a lot of sacrifices for the pandemic, as we all have, why you would project that on someone who gets to have an experience that maybe you didn't, maybe you couldn't do your study abroad.
Yeah.
Like, I understand.
But it's seemingly that it's going well for you, but they don't know your struggles, right?
Yeah, oh my god, quarantine was horrible. I literally felt like I was like starving at points in this quarantine in this tiny room that's, as soon as you open the door, like an alarm goes off. Like, literally, Yeah, but people, you know, are so quick to judge.
Yeah.
And again, project their own experiences onto you because they can. It's the internet. It's a free-for-all. But that was a really tough time. And coming back to your initial point, I felt like if a male creator had done it, people would not have batted an eye nearly as much as if a female creator did it. It's like a pattern that once you actually look for it and you dissect it, like, it's there. Women are treated so differently on YouTube.
Right. The expectations are so much higher, and they just immediately, everything you do is just, should she be doing this?
For sure.
But right. How do we deal with this? What's your advice for women on the internet? How do we...
Dealing with the hate?
Generally,
okay, so I think the thing I just said is so important to realise. That generally it's not actually about you. It is a reflection of however that person is feeling. Yeah. So you tend to notice whatever you're insecure about in other people.
Absolutely.
So like, you know, oh, like your hair looks really bad today. Maybe that person is really insecure about their hair and it's like really frizzy or something. Been there. I've looked at other people's hair and been like, I wish that could be my hair, you know? And instead of choosing to compliment, you choose to, I don't know, bash it down and criticise. So realising that does take it away from being a personal attack because you realise it's just a reflection on them. Yeah. But it doesn't
help immediately, does it?
No. Something I do, because I'm quite a sensitive person, is sometimes before I go into a comment section, I literally like imagine myself distancing myself from the comment section. Like I just visualize myself like almost having like a wall between me and the comments.
Right.
Yeah, just like I take like 2 seconds, just like picture that wall.
So you prep yourself.
Yeah, I actually prep it, like good or bad. Yeah. Just for what could be there. Because I don't know, I don't want too much validation in positive comments or to put too much of my worth in these comments.
Obviously.
But yeah, I also don't want to be I don't want my day ruined by horrible ones. And I think it just depends what mental state I'm in. Like,
of course.
If my life is incredible, I have incredible people around me, like it doesn't affect me as much.
It doesn't bother you as much,
But if I'm in a place where I know that a bad comment could ruin my day, I imagine myself distancing myself from it.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't read the comments.
Yeah.
If I'm not feeling great, I'm like, I'll read another day.
Yeah.
Leave it for today.
See what they're saying tomorrow.
But also, one thing which I came across, I forgot who said this, but it's like, imagine if what they're saying is so hurtful. So this is what's coming out of them. Imagine what's in there, right? So just feel sorry for them that they can't see good and just being that negative, and therefore choose to not, you know, keep that vicious cycle going and taking in the bad and then taking out more bad. Instead, just end it there and be like, okay, that's you, but I will not react to this. And I hope you get better with time, you know, kind of thing. And it's a very kind way of looking at it. And it helps you feel like, okay, this person is not mean, they're just struggling with something.
Yes,
you
exactly.
know? And I think that's a nice way to look at it as well. So that's good.
Yeah, I was also going to say jealousy, I think, is just a big factor.
Oh,
and I think
I feel like we don't talk about jealousy.
We don't talk about jealousy because it's an ugly thing to talk about. And all of us feel it. I've had moments, you know, where I scroll social media
comparison.
And even my friends, you know, like all of us look at other people, especially when we're feeling low and want what they have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that causes you to do malicious things.
Yes, and you
comment horrible things.
Thoughts.
It's just life. Like every single person has that. Where was I going? I lost my train of thought. Jealousy. I had a point, I don't remember it.
Oh no. But no, comparison is definitely terrible. And I think we all do it. That's one of my issues with Instagram as well. Because sometimes you look at things and you'll be like, oh, I wish I had that. And I was like, when did you ever want to be on a boat? You didn't. Just because someone else is on a boat. Water. Suddenly you're like, oh, I wish that was me. But yeah, so definitely I agree on the jealousy front. And I think it makes you sound mean if you say that, oh, this person is jealous of me. Obviously. You know, then you don't jump to that boat. You're like, no, we don't mention the jealousy word, but oh well.
Yes.
Your train of thought is not back, is it?
I was gonna say, I think the nature of social media is like we're projecting a part of ourselves too. Like it's not your whole self. It's like not all of your life. It's a part of your life that you've chosen to share, which is often going to be good. So people are attacking a version of you that isn't even the real you know? Like, why are you letting that affect you? They don't know you as a person. Right. They haven't seen you grow up. They don't know your life. They don't know your family. They are just commenting on a tiny figment of what they see. And then we, as humans, we extrapolate that to think that they're commenting on all of us. And like, they're not. They don't know you.
No, they don't. So that's another good thing. And another thing that this leads on to, right, obviously when we think about mental health and all of that, it's like, again, I'm fangirling a bit hard here, but another one of the videos that
Sheen, I adore you. This is, wow. This is
I'm
so
gassing
flattering.
you. I will come up with some hate comments in a bit. But you know, in one of the videos that you made, you talked about, I lost Anyway, you were talking about loneliness.
Oof.
In the new Summer of Self segment.
New series, go follow me.
Yeah, where you talk about loneliness, how you can be physically lonely and how you can be lonely even with people around you when you feel like you don't have a connection with people around you. So obviously the physical loneliness, we've all been there. I just put TV on if I feel like physically, because you just need human interaction somehow around
it's even when you like, you know, you have a funny comment to make about the film and like no one's there
You're
to
like,
appreciate the comment.
I was like, okay, I'll just laugh in my head. It's
Like,
okay.
I'm so witty. Cries.
I'm funny, you know? But then the second part, which is when you feel lonely because of the way things are around you. Can you tell us a bit more about that? As a creator especially, how does that happen?
Oh, okay, yes. Maybe firstly, not as a creator.
Okay.
I think
As a person.
just as a human.
Yeah.
You know where you have friendships or conversations where it just feels kind of shallow, or you feel like you're putting on a version of yourself that isn't really you. It's just like to work in the conversation. You don't really get on with the people. To me, that's also a version of loneliness.
Right.
Because like it makes you feel isolated when you don't feel understood by people. Like if they don't really understand your values, or like you're just not being honest about how you feel, like that's not real depth. And then I think loneliness as a creator is not talked about enough, especially people who then do YouTube full time. Or me even on summer, I'm effectively doing YouTube full time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a very lonely job. Even though it's the most connected job, it's so lonely sometimes because every aspect of it is like, well, me anyway, I'm planning on my laptop, I'm filming to my camera alone in the room, I'm editing by watching my own face.
And listening to your own voice, it gets so grating.
For sure. And then putting it out to have all these words from people that I don't know. I mean, it's no wonder why we, you know, get sad about negative comments.
Yeah, you're like,
because I poured my life into this. And I think unless you've got a big team around you, or like when I'm at university, I don't find it because I have so many friends and I've got a whole life. But when you're just doing YouTube, it's very lonely. Like, I don't know, I feel like social media is, I said this in a video, social media is kind of a parody of everything that like we want as people, right? Like it literally is like you want connections and like real friends, but then you just get like fake friends. You want to like advance. No connections. You want to advance in a hierarchy of some kind, like in a human tribe, right? And social media gives you that. Like you can get more followers.
Increasing your
followers.
Can look
cooler.
Yeah.
So it's like a pretend version of everything you need, but then it doesn't actually make you feel good because it doesn't satisfy those needs.
No, it still feels hollow, and then you're like, why? But then you're chasing the wrong things. It's just,
why are we in this
why are we doing this?
Business? I don't know.
Because so going back to what you mentioned, you know, the thing about when you feel like you are putting up a front in order to get along with people. I just realized when you said that is such a thing, you know, because in the moment you feel the disconnect between you and that person you're projecting.
Literally though.
And you're just like, who's that?
Who's this person laughing at a joke she doesn't find funny?
Why are you laughing? This is not funny.
But like, you know, that's how you survive in social situations sometimes. You just do it. Or you turn yourself into what you think the other person wants to see. Even though they probably like...
They probably don't care.
They literally don't even think about it.
It's all in your head. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Mad.
Because especially after, you know, being in lockdown and stuff, and then suddenly meeting people again. And then you're like, oh, okay. And
conversation.
You're like, I need to interact. Make eye contact, blink a few times. But yeah, no, it's been interesting thinking, because I've been thinking about that thing you said, but hadn't put it into words about, you know, that disconnect between what you're projecting and what you actually feel. And then there's no need to do that.
Yeah.
Right? It just makes you feel lonely.
For sure.
Okay, how do we combat the loneliness then as a creator? I feel like we should do, all the creators want to be friends. Like,
yes, and I also think creators understand your experience more than anyone can.
Yeah.
Like, when I've been struggling with my mental health online, it's like, I can tell people in my close life, I can tell my family, my other friends, but they don't feel it like a YouTuber who's received hate has, you know? Like, you get
ignore it. Just ignore it.
Like, oh, but you're actually a great person.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Okay,
sure. You know? I think it's actually really cool how at things like VidCon or Summer in the City, which are YouTube conventions, they host creator-only panels.
Right.
And they facilitate like green room sessions where creators will get around a table and talk about things like mental health.
That's nice.
It's so nice because every one of us feels these things, and yet you don't really have the space to talk about it. Again, it's still stigmatized because you know you're living a job which so many people want to have.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a very privileged position. To have it. Should be grateful to have it. Like, why are you complaining? Which is, I guess, valid. But
valid.
It shuts down the conversation.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be in like a safe space talking with other people.
But also your emotions are valid. Like, just accepting that this is the case is not going to help. All the feelings go away. So yeah, I think all creators should just be friends, and we can just, you know, hold hands and sing
Please
Kumbaya.
At us in the DMs.
Yeah, just, you know, send the DMs. We love the DMs, really. All right, before we go, tell us about the book. So, before this, let me just say that I really like the choice of the photo at the back.
Oh,
it's such a nice photo.
It's quite wholesome.
I'm not going to show you because you need to buy the book.
She's a marketer.
Yeah, I'm a great salesperson. And yeah, so you were one of the OG study tubers, and you decided to write a study guide. How did you get to this idea?
Yes, so I think when I started in this study tube space, it was clear that this is needed. You know, conversations around how to study, it's not put in school in the curriculum, but it's something that everyone needs to know in order to do well. And you either figure it out through trial and error, or struggle, I guess. Or learn advice from other people, whether that's an older sibling or a mentor of some kind. And through YouTube, I guess I became that online mentor, but I wanted a more evergreen medium where I could also explore it in a lot more depth with more meat than just in a 5-minute YouTube video. And I also wanted to create a study guide that's more holistic than just here are some techniques, but dig into things like perfectionism, why it's scary to do exams, looking at the academic system, all of that stuff. And I just know that this really would have helped me when I was in secondary school.
Oh, nice. How long did it take you to write? 8 months.
But during university.
That's fast.
I know.
That's a baby take 9 months.
Yeah.
That's really fast. Well done.
Thank you.
Honestly, I looked at it and I just love the little diagrams in it, especially the fingers. Just love it.
I feel like when you're flicking through, it's like the first thing you see.
It's the first thing
and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. How was the feeling the first time you held the printed copy?
Oh my god, it is a dream come true to like have it in my hands. But also, so it was like amazing and surreal and all that good stuff, but also terrifying because it's like, wow, something that's felt like it's been mine for so many months is now in a format that other people can read it, which is scary.
It's quite terrifying.
Yeah. So generally good, but also, wow, this is real.
Yeah, well, it's really cool. I think it's really cool. You should buy the book and send photos to Jade.
Yes, please do.
And like love reviews. Little photos
I love it. Oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jade.
Thank you so much for having me. You're a wonderful interviewer.
Oh, thank you. You're a wonderful guest. Look at us gassing each other. Wait, I promise
you've done it
enough for me.
Fine, okay, I dare you to say something really horrible about me.
I don't know if I like the haircut.
Tell me why. Tell me more.
You took that very well.
Tell me more.
I really like your long curly hair.
I mean, I do too, but it's so much effort.
I know. I've been there. I mean, I just straighten it now, but
Yeah, I know. To be fair, I think it's like a different phase of me is how I see it.
Do you feel a bit more sassy now with the short
I
haircut?
do. I feel like it's like, it's
you can just
power.
flick it.
Yeah. It's just easier to... So I feel a bit sophisticated. I like it.
No, it's nice. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just less good. See,
No.
I can't even be a good hater. I need some training.
I actually love it.
I genuinely love it. But
yes.
But no, great. And next time you're in the Middle East, come visit.
Yes, please. Oh my god, I'm so excited for her journey. You're literally moving next week.
I know. It's crazy. But thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.